You should.
Yeah.
That night.
So mine are this color. Yeah, no, it's not funny. On to a color.
I'd like to call the well, if I ask somebody else to do it. Oh, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. 5:30, we're gonna be,
On the nose.
nothing like coming in hot. So, approval of minutes, anyone announcements? Any announcements? No. Approval of minutes, they look good to me. Anybody have anything that they saw? No? Okay, great. Would someone like to,
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting.
all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Old business. So updates, discussion, possible action regarding 2025 installations. I have one thing is that Shelley Parat would love to add solar lights to the, she's called me a few times about it. And I told her I would talk about it. So you're supposed to send them with the installation, but she didn't. So do we want to provide, they're not that expensive. They're very easy. They're these little disc lights. They're solar paneled, and then at night it just shows up through.
Which one is that?
The one in the park near you, the HP Smith
So they
Park.
go within that box.
They go in the rocks
Okay.
so that it just shine up a
I
little.
think fabulous.
And they're, like I said, they're not
that bright, they're
they're not that bright and they're not that expensive. So we could do this if we agree. She would really be excited if we would. So,
I think they're a funny color, but I don't have a problem with proving it.
okay.
So I did get,
Hmm.
I wanted to mention, I did get some information from one of the, another community member who mentioned that we should be careful about what we do in certain parks because of environmental and the animal life and also.
I know who you're talking about,
Mhm,
and yes,
mhm.
we've heard this a lot,
Mhm.
and we are very mindful of the animals. Yes, I mean, we were told a lot of things about the last installation, and we made sure that we were as accommodating to the animals as we could be. And I don't think that I think you're talking about the one in the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We were
Just-
very mindful of the
Okay.
animals, but I know we've heard that one.
I heard that they liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard the ducks were happy about it too. We do make sure that we're not hurting anything. I mean,
So are these solar?
yes, these are solar.
So my sense is I have downlighting in my backyard that's solar. And so you see it at dusk and I don't know, I'm not up at 3 a.m., but I think the solar, it
Runs out.
runs out. And so it may be into the early evening darkness and then it is dark.
Mhm.
And I think I mean, I know birds and all of that, but I can't think that little bit of light, we're not lighting a skyscraper here, we're
It's
lighting.
very dim light.
Hmm.
The solar lights are not gonna
It's not-
cause like
Right.
bright skies, so we're
Well, it's
working
not-
with their migration.
It's not in the woods or in the trees, it's.
It's
kinda
in
out
the
open.
bottom of the,
It's out in the open,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Not that that's light pollution.
so we think this would be a good.
I move that we install solar lights on the Shelley sculpture.
All in
Second.
favor? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, who wants to do it? I'll do it. I'll order them and then just go put them out. It's close to my house. Update discussion, possible action regarding 2026 installation. Wally Dion, he has been in touch. He doesn't know when he's coming yet. He is like actively working on figuring things out for an outdoor and like what he wants to do, and he's looked at spaces. He did mention the beach as like where he really would love to work with the Horizon line. So he did mention the beach.
while I know the park commissioner of the beach would love that idea, I think that we're gonna have to talk logistics about location.
Okay.
Just because how busy the beach gets.
Yeah.
The access points to the beach,
Mhm.
like for our ATVs.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there a place that we could recommend more than
I-
another place?
if, I don't know, we'd have to go out there on a busy day because
Okay.
he would be doing this during the season.
Yeah.
And we have the volleyball nets and we have a lot of other stuff. And it's unfortunate, but there is some vandalism that happens at the beaches
Mhm.
after hours.
Okay.
So we would just really need to talk to Parks and Rec, of course, but really be thoughtful about placing anything there.
And
And-
I mean, he's looking for like expanse, like a little bit of and I mean,
No, I get it.
not many of our parks have that much space around them, so I don't know where we should recommend that he could get like some more space. They're really cool. They're looking like a flat structure that has colors that are almost layers of, I would say filament. I don't know what they actually are. I've
Mhm.
only seen images, but they're very cool. They almost like, I was like, oh gosh, better than I thought.
I don't think it's off the table. I just
Okay.
think it's something that needs to be very
Yeah.
thoughtfully considered and a lot of other input.
Okay.
Um,
And dunes are off, right?
What about
Dunes will be
Den, yeah, Den Rec, do they, what do they have to do with the beaches? I mean, that.
I don't, well,
they're in
it's not
charge of
permanent.
dunes.
Oh, that's another good question because there is licensing or non-permanent structure, things that need to go through them if it's seaward of the building line. But I have actually,
Seaward of the.
right, so
building.
there's a line that I actually, you can find it online. I found it in our, I was looking for the tax parcel. And you can see where the line is on this map that they dictate what you could, what's considered seaward of the building line. So I would know I was looking for it for the Johnny Walker Beach.
Is it the high
kiosk.
water mark?
No, it is, there's literally
Where they
a
own.
line
Mhm.
but it's within, I think he said like 700 feet of that line. They would still need to be notified and get approval. So
So it's
it's
possible, but maybe not possible.
yeah, it would have to really be looked at.
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
Hard maybe.
Not to be discouraging in
Yeah.
any
No.
way, but we need to really.
And can we go, what about the beach on the other side, Roosevelt?
Well, that's unguarded. So I mean, as far as guarding and
Oh.
those concerns, we wouldn't have them, but we would still have to consult with Denver.
So that's another, I mean, that would be a cool space because you can see it, you can see a horizon in different
Mhm.
locations.
Mhm.
So maybe you could look into that just a little bit and see
Yeah,
if this
I
is
can
like a
look at it.
hard no, or if we, because when he said that last night, when I was talking to him, I was like, oh, beach.
Well, we always talk.
I was like,
and
I don't
Parks and
know.
Rec, Kay is always saying how she would love to have some kind of art at the beach. I just don't know that this would fit that. But again, I don't want to put anything off the table. Don't want to be discouraging either. So let's see what we can figure out.
And yeah, or if anybody is walking around town and sees expanses, what we're looking for is something where that you can get a little bit of a vantage point away from it. So, I mean, it would be great for Great Marsh. Like that's kind of, but I mean, he's already working on our project, I mean, for next year. So that's pretty cool. I know. And he's making this one for us, which is cool.
Yes.
Okay, anything, so I'll let you know when Wally is coming into town. And we'll go from there. Anything else on the Wally Dion? Did you see Wally Dion's pieces? Did we show you that last time?
I don't recall.
I'll just show you real fast. Just so you have some understanding of what we're talking about.
Flags.
He's indigenous and he does these really cool, like they harken back to his. So they're transparent quilts, so he's working with the quilt, but then he also does these. And these are indoor pieces, so he's working on an outdoor piece for us. So they're so neat. This is the one. So there are these transparent quilts, and so he's doing something similar but different to that for us, I think. But it's all in the beginning stages.
I love that, the last one you showed me, because it does look kind of indigenous and,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's very, and then this one that he's working on is kind of, it looks almost like building-like, but then like quilt-like, but then other, like you're looking at a place from space or maybe from an indigenous culture. It's
Mhm.
pretty cool. So we'll see. I'm so excited.
They fit in the ground.
Well, we don't know what he's making yet, so we don't know.
I was just thinking of the other place where there's sort of a, not a horizon, but an expanse.
Oh,
Right.
my.
I'm sorry, across from the Beacon Motel in that.
Oh, yes, we talked about that once before.
Yeah, I mean, I
Mhm.
think yes, it could be a distraction for traffic, but I mean, he wouldn't exactly have the horizon there, but he'd have.
Have an expanse, you're right. Across, how do you feel about that? Oh, great. We didn't get a no.
It's not that's not a park though.
I know, but,
Right.
well,
Still city.
I mean, the beach is the beach a park?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Another place there might be space is by the monument.
What about in the water?
That would be a hard no. Sorry. Absolutely not.
We give that a no. Okay. What monument are you talking
You know, where where they,
about? No.
on Pilot.
Oh, the one down the way, all the way down, where the osprey
What's it
hang out,
called?
where the osprey hang out.
Yes.
Well, that would be an idea. That could
You
be
know what,
kinda
I'm-
cool, cause you can see far by the old dairy.
Yes, across from the old dairy. What's it called?
I don't know.
The DeVry Monument?
Yes, yes.
That one. I also, I just had a thought when you said that the DAR Mall House that has that empty lot that's right on the canal, that there's nothing there. And
That would be cool.
the mall house is along Pilot Town Road, the old Dutch Colonial. And they've been really emphatic that they wanted to be inclusive. They're trying to find Indigenous and African American members. And it would be cool to have an Indigenous piece of art
Yes.
there.
Well,
And it's a space that looks out on the canal, lots of
And
traffic
the
by.
marshes across.
And the marshes
So
across
where
from
is
it.
this? Why am I not able to
It's
bring
right by the,
Little League Field?
Clear down, way down
Further
far.
down.
It's toward the DeVry Monument, but it's not as far down as the DeVry Monument, but
How-
it is uninhibited and
But it would be it's private property.
Mm.
So we're putting public art on private property.
And
I don't know what that would entail. We'd have to do some
Yeah.
research about that
we should
too.
have to take a permission from the DAR. Imagine.
But there are going to be also people that are going to want to go and visit it. So it'll be we'd have to.
No,
look into that.
I understand what you're
but
saying.
they've opened the house for the whole summer on Saturdays, so it's a step in the right direction. They're encouraging people to come visit. So I don't know, I'm just tossing that out.
Mhm.
Good.
Mary Alice Kelly is coordinating the 250th celebration for all of DAR for the state, but for for the city of Lewis. And so that's one thing. She could help answer that question. The other thing is she's really interested in the mural. Are we going to talk about that
Yeah.
next?
Is it on our? Oh, yeah, mural next.
Okay, so
Um,
I'll plant that idea, and if you're interested, I'm happy to sort of follow up on that too.
I mean, I would say that public land I do love that. We should go down that road, but I also think that it is important that Lewis is paying for art that people in the town can get to pretty easily. So that's my only worry about that. Even getting down to the monument, do you think people see it?
Oh, yeah, you can see it right when you drive by.
Well, I know, but I mean, how many people go down there
Oh,
compared to like, yeah,
that's true.
not as
Yeah,
many.
it's not
Compared to the beach or
It's
compared
not the
to.
most
Right.
prominent
Mhm.
spot, yeah, definitely.
What about, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Canal front,
I don't know.
okay. just, gotta ask. Okay, so we have lots of options. Also go around and take some pictures and send them to Wally, and then when he comes, he can, if they inspire him in any way. Wally's, he's a fun guy. I've only met him through internet, but, so anything else on 2026? Okay, great. Moving right along. The mural. So, and a little update on the mural is it's spec to be installed around September. He's working on it. Tony and I have been diligently working on lighting to try and figure out lighting if we want to light the mural. We have found a company that does lighting on the building and goes down far enough to actually light the whole thing. Now we have to get them to make a custom, price a custom light for us, and then we have to talk to the electric company and the city about putting it in. It's all in beginning stages, but we would love to go for a grant for that, and so that would be like $250 or something like that. So we're working on that. That's where that is, working on it. And you had something to say about the mural?
Yeah, that's great news because the 250 committee many committees are working, and I believe they have scheduled, put it on notes somewhere.
The one coming up at 8 a.m.?
There is one, but there's also an event coming up for the 250th celebration, September 18th or 19th, which is, look at this again. And so they were really wondering if there was a possibility that that would be done and this could be done together, because they're beginning to really kick off the anticipating what this is going to look like. I think it's going to be a recreation of a court case or something that they're doing in preparation. They're going to be ongoing events, but I did mention to the committee that there is the mural has been in the works, and that this would be, just because of its very nature as the discovery of Lewis, the indigenous peoples of Lewis, and also colonial settlers of Lewis, that this is kind of perfect for the
We just
250th
don't know when we'll
celebration.
be up to be able to say yes to that.
Okay,
Because the artist is making it.
Right.
And then when he's gonna come and install it.
so I guess
But
what I would just
also, I think that mural is gonna hit any event that they have.
toss it out there as saying, what kind of big splash do you want to have for
Yeah.
it? Because it's potentially could be a big splash because of the nature of it, and it's so going to be so visible. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's really
perfect.
cool.
So we are gonna have some type of opening or something. We
Right.
have 3 groups who have brought this to life. For sure. And it's supposed to happen in September, but we don't really have a
And
date.
so Mary Alice said the 250 logo is available for partners that want to partner with the DAR committee, or not that, but with the 250 celebration. So again, in putting out that information, you might think about putting that
Yeah.
logo on there because the city's very involved in that. And they want to make sure that all the
Mhm.
partners who are interested are included.
And there is a meeting, if anybody has anything about the 250, there is a meeting I'm going to on the 11th about arts and music
Mhm.
and culture. So if you have anything you want to add to that, please let me know so I can talk to them.
Okay, so I'm serving on the history, so that would be great for you to share that with her and the rest of the committee, the public art and the murals. I think that would be great.
Are you going to that? That one's
Um,
supposed to be art, I think. and
It is,
music. Okay.
it is, yeah.
In fact, for Delaware 250, everything that when I looked at the agenda, any of these and all of them can be added to the Delaware 50
Yeah.
website or whatever they're doing, so that works. That'll be,
Mhm.
I know last meeting you talked about social media and getting the word out about public art committee. Well, this is an opportunity for any of those listed from C4 on down.
Yes, okay. And, yeah, so we're bringing ideas to the 250 meeting. So if you have anything, like I want to be able to put flags all the way, really cool and vintage flags all the way down Second Street, so that you go into the Historic Society and these flags would just take over the street. I think it would be so gorgeous. And then I want to do meditations quarterly during the, so we can raise the vibration of Lewis that would then change. So we need 1,000 people for these meditations. So I want to do these. So just so you know, that's putting a bug in your ear about coming to the meditation. And I wanna
Meetings
Okay.
are at the Mall House, so you'll get to see it.
Oh, nice, perfect.
That's where the location is.
Yeah, so those are, so if there's something that you think of that would connect with art and the 250 celebrations, I'm your conduit for that. So, yeah. Okay, so mural in the works, we're working on lighting, signage, trying to get a grant for that. That's where we are. And yes, we do need to connect it with it's like the perfect thing for 250. I think, was it Susan and Francis who were working on the fall educational event, possibly bus tour, possibly? Oh,
It was Francis and I.
okay.
So
Perfect.
here is at least a worksheet for us to start out with. Francis and I had a call and sort of brainstormed. And maybe you can help us because you gave me the folder and I went digging into the folder.
Thank you.
Did we actually visit the Baltimore Museum of Art?
No.
No, we were planning on it and
Oh, it did not happen. Okay. But there was a trip to Glenstone, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's helpful. Because Frances attended the one
Yes.
to Glenstone, so she could confirm that. So what I tried to do, based on our conversation, chatting back and forth and looking up websites and all of that, was to give you a couple of possibilities, and we're certainly open to any other possibilities, but kind of the first three that came to mind were Grounds for Sculpture, which is up near Trenton. So we again trying to keep in mind that 3-hour radius. They're all falling within 100 to 150 miles. Grounds for Sculpture is kind of right there. And so you can see the information there. Barnes Foundation in Philly on Ben Franklin Parkway, which is impressionist, post-impressionist and modern paintings. If you haven't been there, that would be a nice opportunity, and a lot of people might be interested. Well, for any of these things, because Grounds for Sculpture is indoor and outdoor art installations, and the outdoor art installations, I mean, it's a garden, so October, maybe, I don't know. And then the last one, I had lunch and somebody mentioned the American Visionary Museum, which is always amazing in Baltimore. So there are kind of 3 possibilities right there. And so Francis and I would really like your feedback and thoughts on any of these. There were a couple of questions that came up, just if you have any ideas that you want us to explore, you want to think about, we're certainly willing to do that. Trying to think about what dates, and I tried to capture what days they're open. It looks like Thursday through Sunday seems to be, Monday, Tuesday are not great days for museums to be open. I know that. And what time. I know the trend is a lot of museums are going to free admission. They're writing grants and they're getting, because they want to bring in audiences, but have, philanthropic benefactors that are underwriting free admission. So that's cool. But then there are others that, they do have it, and that's what you can see, the cost of admission. And then I tried to give you what the focus of the collection was, and if there are any, features or upcoming exhibits that I thought. So the American Visionary Museum, the strength to be joyful. I don't know about you, but I'm looking for joyful right now. So that looked interesting. It opens August 2nd. And I laughed because on their website, which is so typical of the American Visionary Museum, there's John Waters, who says the best museum gift shop you've ever seen in your whole life. So if you've ever been in there, shopping is available. So anyway, that's that. And then the last piece was something I pulled out of the folder, and this is how Jorlin operates. And I have an email into them to say, we're rattling your cage again and are interested in maybe doing this. So what has changed? But that gives you the idea about the deposit, how they handle money. Certainly, their expectations for passengers in terms of alcoholic beverages and smoking, there is none. And, you know, just how they run their business. So I thought that would be interesting for you to know. Francis and I had a question to pose. Does this fall under the city of Lewis for financial,
Mhm,
or does
it
it the
does.
foundation? It's the city of Lewis.
Yes.
Okay,
As of right now, yes, but that is something that we can discuss further and have it go through GLF
Okay.
and the Friends
It
of,
is
but for
possible.
now, we have something set up for
Okay.
the city
Mhm.
to take the money in.
And it worked last time. I mean,
Yes.
people have to make they have to, you know, make an account or whatever, and then they can buy
They
their.
go online, yep, onto
Mhm.
our permitting system.
Yeah,
Which is not a problem, but at that time, you didn't have a Friends of group
yeah.
involved. So we might be able to move towards that, but
Okay.
either way, for now, I think
I
it'll
did
work.
notice that a lot of people paid by credit card.
Mhm.
And I would say if it's possible, add Zelle or PayPal, or can we do that? We can't do that. Okay.
But they can pay for credit card through that
Through-
system.
Okay.
And a check or cash.
Mhm.
So we also talked about the foundation because we were thinking maybe it would be an opportunity to encourage people to make a donation.
Donation, yes. Mhm. And you could have something at the end.
Right.
Or, yeah, that would be great. I mean, we could do it through the foundation thinking like, hey, you could make, well, they could do that through the city too. They can give more. We haven't, I don't think, had that happen in that case, but we could ask for it.
I was looking at the roster and, you know, payment on the last trip, which was the Glenstone trip. And it was interesting to see that I think the cost of the trip was $60 and there were a number of people who paid 75 or 80.
Oh, good.
So that was nice. So
I did, I know.
the
from
money,
some-
money then goes to public art or,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So-
I have a question.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Swag. How do you promote this trip? How do you advertise?
Either in the past, we've done the Cape Gazette, we've just done flyers around, we've done our social media, but
Okay,
yeah, just word of mouth mostly.
Wasn't it site too that we were sponsoring it? I can't remember.
It was on the city website,
Yeah, that's what.
and on our website.
If there's usually a flyer that the city does, I usually put it on the various websites. You know, I try to catch activities and put it out there. About 15 different websites.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, I'm always looking at trying to get another generation involved.
mhm.
And so maybe, you know, consider some students who are very interested in art.
Yeah, so we could ask
That might be
Mrs.
an
Ruggiero
consideration.
or-
I think Carol contacted, garden clubs or art leagues in like Millsboro and Milford and,
Mhm.
I know she contacted Lewis and Bloom, but I think there's a Millsboro garden club. Or anyway, I think she reached out to those two as well.
And we wrote a press release.
Right.
And that's free in the Cape Gazette if you do a press release. Mhm.
I think also I was brainstorming this myself and thought some of our new developments, there are 55 and over developments. There are just developments, new housing developments. And they have they have social committees that are
Yeah.
always clamoring for something to do. And I think this could fit the bill
Mhm.
for some of those. We could probably
Yeah.
get that bus filled up pretty quickly. So,
And I think the grounds for sculpture would be my lean, only because I feel like people go to museums faster than they go to they don't see outdoor art as much. Or, you know, so it would be cool to see more outdoor art.
And if you're looking at a senior population, then you also think about mobility.
Yeah, and most of the places, like I know with Glenstone, they were really good about that. They had people who would walk people around or, yeah. So we need to make sure that was a possibility at the grounds for sculpture.
And weather is a factor.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'd want to have a rain date or anyway,
Mhm. I think, do we have a rain date last time?
I can't remember.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I think it was,
But there was enough inside that it was
Yeah,
okay, but,
yeah.
and we ended up lucking out, but. And we did it in the spring? God,
It was October,
Okay, it was October also. Mhm.
pretty sure.
Now, October is a good time
Mhm.
because people have less going on and it's a slower time here. Okay. So what do you need from us?
I go home and if you don't mind, pull up websites and take a look. And maybe, are you okay if we discuss this in August and come up with
Yeah.
a final, decision on which we want to pursue? In the meantime, I will, interact with Jorlin. Are there any other bus companies that anyone's familiar with?
I remember that she contacted a couple others and Jorlin had the best price.
I've worked with Jorlin with the Department of Ed and they were always great to work with.
Yeah.
And Milford is easy. They can swing down here and pick us up and it works really well. And they have nice buses too. So, but I just wanted to make sure that I was covering those bases as well.
Yeah, that's
But,
great.
if you would put that on your homework for the next meeting is just to pull those up and see if they're something that particular appeals to you and over of the 3 or 4, if we didn't go to Glenn's, or if we didn't go to, BMA, we wouldn't, Paul Daniels, well, we still could, go visit Paul Daniels, but, just of the 4 options, see what you feel, resonates with you.
And I know Paul Daniel did want a studio fee to go to his studio.
Okay.
So there was it wouldn't be
Okay.
free, just there was a fee for that.
Heidi,
Yeah.
well, I would love the American Visionary Museum. It's very different. It's very funky. It's may not be for everyone, but it's something different. Although I really would like to go to Grounds for Sculpture, but if you went to Glenstone last year, maybe this is a change up, but it would introduce our people from this area to something very different. I mean, it's not your normal museum there, but it's funky.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, that's great. So anybody else have 2 cents on that they're thinking about? Like any of them pop up that they would rather than another one or?
The only thing I would say is, Grounds for Sculpture is, I think, something that is more in line with the kind of stuff that we're doing and the kind of stuff that we're trying to raise money for. And that, though I love the American Visionary Art Museum, I think that's something that people tend to do on their own when if they travel to Baltimore or whatever.
And also I feel like people are used to seeing art on walls. They are not as used to like why we chose that spot or, it's an education. It is in our mission statement to educate. So I feel like I guess that would be my thought too. And the other thing that we talked about last time was, you have to charge more than what it actually costs, because if we don't fill 10 spots, we need to be able to still go. But-
Have to have a minimum and a maximum number.
But do we want it to be a fundraiser or not, or is it just part of our mission? I always say add a little bit.
I believe if it's a fundraiser, it would have to go through your friends of.
If it's one, well, we don't know, it has. to
Well,
be
if there's
within-
money left over, we just give it to the friends.
Well, no.
I
we
mean, you're
can
not
just
gonna
keep
come
it
to a
in our-
penny anyway.
Well, the thing is, like, we have to add something extra because of the seats that may not be filled.
But if you're calling it a fundraiser,
Okay, then that's the difference. Okay. And we didn't do it as a fundraiser last time. We did it as an educational experience. So it was just to cover the costs plus a little bit to make sure if we didn't have the seats filled. So.
My feeling is that
They'd-
I wouldn't mix the two. I think people that would go on a trip like this would be inclined to give at another time, a later date or whatever. We can certainly provide that information, but I think when you try to do 2 purposes with one event, it sort of gets muddied up and you know.
So do this as our educational.
Yeah,
and
I think this is
Plant
our
the seed.
educational piece and it,
Plant the seed for fundraising.
if
later.
we have to. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with charging $10 more than it cost us per person. But, just to cover ourselves.
But we'll have their email addresses, so we could follow up with an ask
Mhm.
letter or something else. and-
Well, I mean, I think it's more of a conversation. It's more of
Right.
a philanthropic kind of gesture. I mean, we can always email everybody, but it's more, I went,
Planting a seed.
I went on I went on this great trip, but, I give to that. I want to support this.
So the great news is Grounds for Sculpture is open every day but Tuesday. So that gives us some more flexibility in how we're selecting
Yeah.
the date too.
Perfect. So that's a lot of info. I appreciate you guys doing that work and, yeah, and I feel like,
And are we thinking of fall then, October or?
yeah, I feel like October will be the earliest we could do it. But that's a great time, I feel like, because
Yeah.
I feel like there's a few less things happening in October than there are in September.
Should we make a decision tonight? Are we prepared to do that?
I mean, I would love to
Just
try
go
for
in.
Grounds of Sculpture and then get the pricing down and what we need, and we can go with that one. And then if we decide we need a secondary, we can go with if that one won't work.
We can certainly query the group and see what everybody said. We don't have,
Bless you.
and could vote on it if we want to, but we don't have to. Just. We're not.
Is everybody
Maybe.
excited about Grounds for Sculpture as far as like, it's not an indoor museum, it's an outdoor space with some indoor space, right?
Right,
It's a
and they
good-
do have, they do have food capability, and as I understand it, you can, order picnics, like you could eat out on the grounds. So you could eat in the restaurant, I think it's called Rat's Restaurant. And then order picnics. So we'll get information about that and propose that and people can decide, but and then the mobility, I think that's really important to make sure that we have that capability for people who don't choose to, walk the grounds
Yeah.
themselves. But,
So I guess move forward on the Grounds of Sculpture more than.
I would say that, yeah, just. Do we need a? vote on it?
You can call for a motion if you'd like.
Well, do we need that information before we
No.
make it?
I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't.
I do think most of the places do have mobility, so
I do
if
too.
it were to say that they didn't, we would not go with that.
yeah, no, absolutely.
So do you wanna,
I move that we pursue Grounds for Sculpture as our fall art trip.
Second.
all in favor?
I,
Cool. We made a move. I love it when we make moves.
It's like, why wait?
Thank you.
What
Do
do
it.
we
Do it.
How's the best way to get students involved? Like, what do we do about that?
I would say, reach out to, the high school or there are art clubs within high school and middle school for visual arts students, and they were likely to be the people that would be involved,
And
art teachers.
maybe we charge a little more and have a scholarship for 2 or 3 students.
That would be good.
And I would say high school students.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't mean to
Yeah.
be, but I don't know if I want.
I know, middle school, I was a middle school art teacher. They can be a challenge. You'll make me sit with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, let's go high school. Thanks.
yeah.
And Mrs. Bergier, like, there are some good art students at Cape that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you reach out to like Sussex Academy or any private
Let's try
schools?
Cape first. Let's try and do one thing at a time
Okay.
here. I know the teachers there and we don't want too many of them. We gotta pay for the
Mhm.
bus here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a day off school, so I don't think we're gonna be swamped with students.
Well, but how many do we want? Do we want 3? Do we want 5? Do we want 12? Do we want
No.
22?
I just think that if we exclude, if we do the Cape region, we have Cape, we have Sussex Academy.
Should we do one from each?
No, I think you're making
just-
it too complicated. Just go to, we need to align ourselves with the art department in Cape.
We haven't
done-
really reached out.
We
to
haven't
them.
done anything with them. If we provide a
That's
scholarship
okay.
and
I'm
say,
fine
hey,
with
we've got 3
Cape, but
spots,
why not Sussex Academy too?
let's start with Cape. We haven't done
Okay,
anything with
okay.
them.
I mean-
I don't feel any allegiance
If you
to,
don't get any interest,
Then you can move
I
along.
Thanks.
you move on.
yeah, I just don't feel any allegiance to
And Cape has
town.
2,000 students. you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
I mean,
fine with
I just, we haven't even made one move with a student, so I feel like we just need to make one move first, and then we can make
I-
two
I-
moves.
I think it's good to open it up, eventually.
And if this is our educational initiative, then we should
Yes.
be working with public schools.
Well, this is our educational for the community.
Right,
I
no,
mean,
absolutely.
It doesn't mean that we're trying to educate kids. We're trying to
No.
educate the whole
Right.
community.
It's just a piece of.
It's just a part of it, yeah. It's part of our mission to educate people.
Educating womb to tomb.
Yeah, exactly. So we can go down if we don't get anyone, we can keep moving, but I've got like 20 students in no time. Then we have no paid for seats. Okay. Discussion and possible action for marketing strategy. Marianne, you
Yeah,
wanna take
hi.
that?
Well, first thing, I'm going to pass this down is Heidi. We talked about a flyer that would connect the 2 sculptures that are outdoors and where we could put the flyer. And one would be in front of the Net House, which has a board at the canal front. They're more than happy to put it up. The other place would be at the Chamber of Commerce, which, as you see, I put up a T-shirt. I have a little flyer I put up over there with a pocket in there, and I'm going to be able to put up the flyer that you're looking at. And there's some other places, a library, maybe they could put it up on their screen.
See?
Yeah.
So does Reeves Whole Pass.
Okay, that's great. That's great to have. So then another thing was, I came across 2 possibilities. One is right here, the coalition, Lewis Educational Coalition. And what it is a passport that is available. It's not something you hold in your hand, but the person, if you scroll to the next slide, they scan a QR code. They go on there, whoever it could be an adult, child, whoever. And then they find these locations, and then they get a prize. And there are sponsors. The library is one of them, and that's how I found out how to reach Mr. Christopher, who I'm going to meet with. We're going to meet with him tomorrow to see if we can get our locations on his passport. So that's a possibility because, we really don't have a free walking tour of town. Like if a person just wanted to come into town and they say, maybe I'd like to walk around by myself. I don't necessarily want a history tour. So I found another place, and we were actually, when we were hanging up Nikki's pieces, it's the scavenger hunt. Now this somebody would have to pay for, but I don't think it would cost us anything. The scavenger hunt is a franchise, I would probably say. That's a lot of cities have it. And the people sign up and they go all around and they look for stuff. I don't know what exactly they get, but it would be fun to put our sculptures on because that would, and they're all walkable from town. It would be part of that. So I'm still working with a person on that. And that's it. I mean, you need to get from point A to point B when you have your locations. How does somebody know to go over to the park? And that's what I think this is good about. This is really nice. But the scavenger hunt, we do change. So we weren't always in the same location. And someone has suggested, why don't you put something in the brochure about things, events to do in Lewis? Well, the problem is it changes all the time for us. And by the time they go to printing, we might have somebody different. They may be different locations. So we can't get locked, that's kind of out of the question for us. But anything free advertisement, any kind of walking tour. I did contact a bike shop, but they don't do that. This one I talked to.
I know in the past we have done, made a Google map art tour of Lewis, and it had all of Art and Blooms and all of our locations on it. I don't know where that went. It's one of those things that went into the ether after changing of hands, but it is something we can do and we can control it. So I don't exactly know. I
Yeah.
wasn't in control of that, but that's something we could put.
Piggyback on, like,
Yeah. And it could have this mural and that mural and, you know.
the connection, yeah, because I mean, it would be nice if people are walking around and they, you know, not just looking at history, but other things, you know, it could be.
That's great.
That
Thank
would-
you for looking all
Sure.
those things up and making them happen. So you now can buy the t-shirts at my shop or at Chamber of Commerce. Cool. Yeah. Anybody else, any ideas about marketing? The social media? Oh, you were saying the Facebook groups, right?
So if there's ever a flyer or anything that you want me to put out there, or I'd be happy to share it with all the groups that
You're amazing.
most of them are in the Louis Milton area.
Yeah. Can you put this on there? If we sent you it digital?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Map. Poster.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you for doing that. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
doing the other. Anybody, public comment? Anybody for public comment?
There's one person online,
Okay.
Can I can't say anything about the art polls, can
It is not on the agenda.
I? Not even under public comment?
It's, no, you're not public.
Okay, so we, I'm gonna adjourn the meeting. Oh. Oh, may I have I didn't have to have a motion to start the meeting, but
No, technically.
I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank